Okay, so my question for you is, do you believe that immigrants coming to the U.S. should adopt America's customs, belief, and language? Why or why not?
Yes and no. I think that they should have some knowledge, in the beliefs and the culture. I wouldn't say they have to assimilate to Christianity. I do think that they should learn some English just so it could be easier for them. But I'm not one of those that's like, this is America, you need to speak English.
Love, thank you.
Yeah.
Why not?
It's a good question. There's really two different answers. One is what's in their best interest and what's in the best interest of the people who are already here where they're coming to. And I think most immigrants, they assimilate better, they find jobs, if they learn the language, they learn the customs, all of that. They kind of know that. But instead of staying to themselves and isolating, but I think it's not something that we can mandate or require of them. It's just if they come here, they just kind of do what you want to do. But it's I think they'll eventually figure that it's in their own self-interest to do that. So anyway,
Thank you.
That's my thought.
Thank you.
Well, God, that's not like a very easy question. A part of me, yes. In some ways, I do believe that they should learn because you are coming here. We went to France. They would, in France, expect us to learn French. They don't speak English there for Americans. I don't think they have to adopt all our customs, but maybe the language, at least learn the language opposing to making us learn Spanish, although I do think being bilingual is very important actually, but it shouldn't have to just be we learn Spanish to communicate with them. I think they should also learn English to communicate with us.
Language.
I don't think it's an either or question. I think that there's good reason for them to maintain some of their own identity, to support each other. Oftentimes the kind of work they wind up doing requires communication in their own language because most of the people are from where they're from. On the other hand, I think that, I don't know, people have made a political football out of it. I think that for their economic benefit, being able to speak English when they need to is a good idea. The customs, I don't care much. I do believe, I'm a retired university professor, and I think that being able to speak English is just economically better for them. They're going to wind up with a better job, a better life, if they can assimilate when they want to and need to, than whether instead of living a separate life. And it has nothing to do with my attitudes about them as immigrants or politics or anything else. Because I've known people in this country who immigrated. The landscaper that I've used, I've known for 12 years, and he learned to speak English, and he's also smart and strong, and he became the manager of his work crew. He manages like 50 people now, and it's been to a great benefit, but it was a lot of work. He went to the library like 3-4 nights a week with his whole family, and they all worked very hard to be able to speak English. And he still has an accent, and it's still hard for him, but he can communicate very well enough to do everything he needs to do. So yes, I think
that's a loaded question. I think I probably would agree, because our country is full of immigrants from all over the world. As far as the English language being the dominant one, I mean, I guess it makes sense because the Europeans kind of took over. Trying to like watch what I say.
It's okay.
Because it wasn't. Yeah. Sorry, this is a really like.
No, that's
random...
okay. That's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. Because the European settlers were the ones who dominated the other cultures that were already here, so it would have extinguished their language and made them very minor, like they are today. Yeah, I guess that's it.
Okay, thank you.
Do I think that the immigrants who are coming to the U.S. should adopt the English or the American culture? Well, that's a tough one, because what is the American culture and how do you define that? I believe the American culture is a melting pot, so people should bring their own culture to this country and then help everybody to learn new things. In terms of the language, people need to learn enough to communicate and to maneuver, but again, I don't think it's necessarily a requirement.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
No problem.